This video is focusing on wireless bill of material generation for the SmartZone 100 and the virtual SmartZone. So in the Start Here video, we talked about how to choose the right APs and how to choose the right controller and support on those controllers and licenses, etc. So we're assuming now that you've narrowed it down to a SmartZone, whether it be a SmartZone 100 appliance or whether it be a virtual SmartZone, you've narrowed it down, and so we'll look at the SKUs that are required to build a correct bill of materials for SmartZone. So the first thing you're going to do is get a price list if you don't have one already. You can get that from the partner portal. The pricing represented in this video is just an illustration. So they are correct as of the recording. However, those prices could change or the SKUs could change slightly. So make sure you have the correct price list with you when you're building your bill of materials. So as of SmartZone OS 5, so we're actually now on 5.1.1, but as of SmartZone 5, you could now manage both the switches and the Wi-Fi. And so SmartZone is really much more than just a network management system, right? It's multi-tenancy. So if you wanted to become a wireless as a service provider, you could do multi-tenancy and split that single controller out among multiple customers. You can do NAT support, you can do clustering, you can do open API for third-party tool integration, client visibility and troubleshooting. There's many things that you can do with SmartZone above and beyond any of our other controllers. So in order to build a SmartZone bill of materials, here's our checklist. So as usual, we've got the AP SKU and then optionally hardware support on those SKUs, right? So the APs, the indoor APs come with lifetime warranty, limited lifetime warranty. The outdoor APs come with 1 year. So if you wanted to add advanced replacement on, that's an option. ICX management, so if you wanted to manage our switches, then you could add the SKU on per switch to manage the SKUs through SmartZone. The AP license SKUs, so adding those SKUs for each AP into the SmartZone to manage them. The controller SKU itself, the controller support SKU, controller licenses, controller license support SKUs, and then additional feature sets. So things like virtual data plane, DHCP, NAT, URL filtering, things of that nature are also options. So those are all the pieces that you could need to build your bill of materials. So a few licensing notes, right? So a single SmartZone 100 supports up to 1,024 APs. 2 SmartZone 100s clustered together also supports 1,024 APs because it runs in an N+1, right? So those licenses are shared. However, really it's if we look at the 4 SmartZone 100s, it supports 3,000 APs, right? So 1,024 times 3, and then the +1 is it's not supporting additional APs because you need those resources available for you in the event of a failover. So the base SC100 does not have any AP management license included. You need to add the equal number of AP licenses and AP support licenses. And then virtual SmartZone, so a single virtual SmartZone supports up to a maximum of 1024 APs or 10,000 APs depending on whether you set it up. So if you set it up as an Essentials, it'll support up to 1,024. If you install it as a high scale, it'll do up to 10,000 APs per unit. And obviously, as you cluster, those increase, right, to the same scale. So a 4-node cluster will scale to 30,000 APs, right, because you need the one available for failover rather than having 40,000. Okay, so this is an example of you've got a single SmartZone 100, no high availability, and end user watchdog support. So there's also, as we talked about, there's partner level support instead of end user. But as always, the partner level support assumes the partner is doing the first levels of support, right? So the end user is not calling our our TAC. They're calling the partner first, and the partner is escalating to our TAC should they need it. So the vast majority of what we sell is end user support, and so that's what we're going to cover here. So the first thing, you have your APs. So in this case, we're going to use an R720. It's a 901 SKU, right? 9U1 would be an unleashed SKU, but that's not what we need here. We need 901s. And then we're going to optionally, we could add hardware support. So if you want advanced replacement on that AP, you could add 1 and 3 and 5 years of advanced support. And then in this case, we're adding a SmartZone 100 controller, right? So this is a 104, which means that it has the 4 gig ports turned on. If it was a 124, that would represent that it would have the 10 gig ports as well as the 1 gig ports enabled. So this is a 4 ports of 1 gig enabled SmartZone 100, so P01-S104-XX00. Then our AP licenses. So we need to add 1 AP license per AP we're adding, right? Up to 1,024 AP licenses. Then support for the SmartZone 100. So this is support for the appliance itself, right? So 1 year, 3 year, 5 year end user support. So the 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 is 1, 3, and 5. And then AP support. So you need to buy support for every AP on that device. So this is an S01-001-1LSG or 3LSG or 5LSG for 1, 3, and 5 years respectively. So let's look at some examples here. So in this case, it's a single SmartZone 104 appliance, right? End user support, 1 year term. So the first thing, we buy quantity 1 of the appliance itself. So it's a S104, right? We're going to buy 20 R510s in this example. We're going to buy 20 AP licenses to go on that controller to support those 20 APs we bought. Then for support, we're going to buy quantity 1 of the support SKU to support the controller, 20 AP support SKUs to support those AP licenses, and then optionally in this case we're going to buy 20 of the advanced hardware replacement SKUs for the R510. But yeah, pretty straightforward there. And then let's look at redundancy or clustering. So we're going to buy 2 of the SmartZone 100s. We're going to buy 20 APs, 20 AP licenses for the SmartZone, 2 support SKUs, 20 AP support licenses, and then the advanced hardware support. So really the only difference between this one and the previous one is we're buying 2 controllers and 2 support SKUs for those controllers. Otherwise, everything else stays the same. And because this is active, so when we looked at Zone Director, Zone Director runs active standby, right? So we buy 1 license for the active, and then we buy this backup license for the standby. In this case, since it's an active, we buy 2 full controllers and 2 full support licenses for those controllers. Okay, so here's another example. So it's a single virtual SmartZone in this case, right? No high availability, end user watchdog support. So the AP stays the same, so a 901 SKU. The optional hardware support stays the same. Then we buy the virtual SmartZone 3.0 virtual appliance, right? So this is an L09 VSCG-WW00. And then, as the description says, we need to purchase a right-to-use support license to continue using this beyond 90 days, right? And so here's the right-to-use license: 1 year, 3 year, 5 year for the controller. So it's an S01-VSCG-1L00, 3L00, 5L00 for 1, 3, and 5 years respectively. Then we're going to buy the AP license to go on that. So that virtual SmartZone, it includes 1 AP license, but for every AP you want to add beyond that, you need to buy those AP licenses, and you need to buy AP support, 1 for every AP that you want to support for 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. So an example, right? So it's virtual smart zone, end user support, 1 year term. So we buy the appliance license, right? So this is a perpetual license, lasts forever, but you got to buy support on it. So quantity 1 of those. We're going to buy 20 R510s, as we did in the previous example. We're going to buy 20 AP management licenses for our controller. And then we're buying quantity 1 of the virtual smart zone support, quantity 20 of the per AP virtual smart zone support, and then we've purchased the optional advanced replacement hardware support. But most cases people would buy spares and use the lifetime warranty for indoor APs. And then lastly, this is a cluster, right? So we're buying 2 of the virtual smart zone licenses. We're buying our 20 APs and our 20 AP licenses, right? Because these are active, and those AP licenses are shared across the 2. Then we don't need to buy double the licenses, just the single. We need to buy quantity 2 of the smart zone virtual smart zone support. Again, this all comes in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, but we're just using 1 year as an example. We're going to buy quantity 20 of the per AP support for virtual smart zone or smart zone, and then quantity 20 of the advanced replacement hardware warranty for the R510s. So the only differences between this and the last one, again, you're buying 2 of the controllers and 2 of the support SKUs for the controller. Everything else stays the same. And you can add to that cluster, right? So you can build up to a 4-node cluster. So we could add, quantity 3 or quantity 4, depending on how many APs you need to support. Okay, so that's it for SmartZone. Now there is some additional things, URL filtering licenses, for example, to come in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, GRE tunnel licenses, some virtual data plane licenses, but those are all pretty straightforward. The basics to getting this up and running is you buy either the hardware controller or the virtual smart zone appliance license, then you buy support on that. You buy the number of AP licenses you require and the support on those, right? So pretty straightforward, 4 steps, and then the optional add-ons beyond that should you wish to. But that's it for today, and have a great day. Take care.